So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
Ah, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue.
Wasn't that my original question?
I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
Is she planning on using the Endymidium?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be, accumulated to enact this death sentence.
So is it Focalors who's going to die? And Farina will carry on, right?
It was all a part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course.
As I had wished for! Woo!
In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
Look, it's about time that some of my theories came to fruition.
But
only you can stop the whale, the calamity.
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we?
Yes, he's gonna make it rain.
The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
all you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked. Hydro Dragon, don't cry.
Aww.
I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime?
I did see the hypocrisy in it, yes.
Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you?
Exactly as I said.
Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontanians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice.
When you put it like that.
In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence, defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. That should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontanians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long.
This is great, but who's going to step into the political void? Because Nervalet's never going to do it. Farina, assuming she survives because she's on your team, assuming she survives, she's just going to be a human who once was the mirror of an Archon. And Follisaurus is going to be dead. So who's going to step up? Like, at least in Liyue, you had the Yixing? You had Ningguang and her lot to step into that void. So we don't really have that kind of structure here in Fontaine, unless you have the Spinner Drusilla and the Knave step into the breach. I don't know.
Iudex Nervilette, the highest judge in our land. When you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last. I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come.
But you weren't the
I know
sinner.
I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervilette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Judex Nuvelet, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
Well, you weren't privy to it.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
Is Oratrice still glowy?
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
But didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from that creature. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
You obtained power just now.
Traveler, now that the Oratrice can no longer function,
Yeah, it's lost its
I
life.
require an executor to help me mete out justice.
You mean me?
The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
I guess we're not gonna stop for 2 seconds so that I can eat. We just keep going. Ah.
We're going to execute it?
Oh, Jesus.
But how are we going to do that?
I thought it was gonna be like cooler and
I've
wait, who's
already
more
done my
resilient?
best to separate the power of the primordial sea from the whale.
Am I supposed to
Considering
hit
the
it while
size
it
of
jumps?
the
Okay,
beast,
I think
cannot
I'm
reach
supposed to
the
hit it
power
while it
source.
jumps in. Okay.
Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together.
I'm looking for an opening. That's good. Never mind. We barely touched the bloody thing.
Be sanctified. I can feel the sorrow turning into hostility. Bow your head.
Where are my orbs? My orbs just don't exist. Destroy that to do things. Numerous ocean attacks can simply destroy it. Yeah, well, I only have one of those creatures.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility, and chance may present itself.
Just shoot the fucker! My god. That's right, we go inside it. Get in the Nahida! Get shit done. Oh wait, is this gonna be a ranged battle? Because I don't do ranged. Oh, hey! What about you?
Really
Hello.
scary.
Can we change? Good god, I know my ping's bad, but that's just pathetic.
Settle down.
I can't sprint. I'm not quite sure what that's about.
Hear me.
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Quit.
Memory.
An oversight on my...
Bro, I feel like I'm barely doing any damage to this thing.
Please turn a little bit.
The tides beckon.
I'm not gonna duck out of the way, sir. I know what the jellyfish are for.
The Temple of Wisdom.
This is painful.
Tip out your head.
Come on, Jane, get your heels up.
Sharing my knowledge.
Really? You're gonna put me back outside? Nope, get to skip that. Feels a bit sudden. I thought we could, like, you know, check out the landscape before we kind of took them on, but okay, now I just feel like we're rushing things. We went from going too slow to going too fast. We'll be taking this back, thank you. Or not. Oh. I forgot about you. Wait, can you just stop throwing him around like he's a toy? Give him back. But what involvement do you have in this, love?
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but oh well.
Can I have Titaglia back, please?
It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime.
My disciple and my master's pet. So Titaglia is your disciple? But whom is your master?
Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
She looks very astrally, or primordial, I suppose, in this context. Disciple, your master's pet.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Hyman has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gives the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I don't remember any mention of Skirk. I'm sorry, I really don't.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world.
I love her design, by the way. I just thought I'd say that. She's all shiny. I like shiny.
So you may speak to me as equals.
Hey, what sort of person would take the all-devouring narwhal as a pet?
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks.
It was also very shiny.
All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
But she does still have a point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did.
Him?
His name is Sertologi.
I'm so confused. I don't really know who Skirk is, and I don't really know who Sertologi is. I don't remember any mention of Skirk in the past.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
No, but maybe instead of using names, you should use context.
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary?
Ooh!
Vetterfalnir then? Or Gold Rhine-daughter?
Yeah, I heard of that one. I heard of that one.
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhine-daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Yes. Wait, but aren't we talking about a male?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-daughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
So I guess the Hexen Circle is going to have an increasing role of importance as we progress, which is interesting because they were introduced to us in an event quest of all things.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
Yeah, but on the plus side, it ain't primordial. It's just normal water, right? Because all the primordial sea is here and has been sucked up and you took some stuff and yeah, right?
What?
No, there's little to be surprised about, Paimon. It is natural after all. The prophecy will surely come true. We knew this and accepted it. However...
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
You want to elaborate on that for the traveler?
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
Is someone going to rescue her? She's human. And I don't think she's of a mind to rescue herself.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
But did they get to evacuate in time? What about Rasley's ship? Did the ship save people? We kind of have just skipped to the end of the calamity without worrying about the beginning of the calamity. They can't swim forever. They're going to get exhausted.
Hey! Help! Over here!
How'd they get to boats when they were in the opera? And you're not going to have enough boats for the entirety of Fontaine, I suppose. It's about destinations are full of barely any people. Oh yeah, here comes the big boy. Let's go, Radsley. Woo! This is the real ship. I'm so glad it worked.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue!
All criminals from the prison, please help.
Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
What about the elderly, though? I don't think they have the strength to save themselves. And the kids may not have the intelligence to do so. Look at that Fremenane lending a hand. Saving the people.
Look! The water's receding!
Jesus, that was quick. I thought it would at least stay up for a bit. Otherwise it makes the ship's usefulness rather redundant. It wasn't really necessary. That diminishes the drama somewhat.
It's a miracle!
Yeah, but all your possessions are destroyed.
The prophecy was wrong! The prophecy was wrong!
No, it's just that it wasn't primordial. It's been sucked out. Farina! You played your part.
Are you alright?
We're saved.
The prophecy was wrong.
Something. The Soil Renewed! The Svina di Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spina di Rosula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it. Skyship Winglet, boon or bane of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
They might have been real big shots from the start. We just didn't meet them in that capacity.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down.
Question. I know that when electricity gets wet, that shit doesn't work anymore. How does steam engines work? Would all your steam tech still function after being wet? I'm not mechanically inclined enough to know the answer to that myself.
The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
The articles do make me curious about how things will play out.
I'm curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
I'm starting to think that Charlotte has a crush. It's a little too determined.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
Yeah, I need to stop for lunch. Man, I am starving. I finally get to stop for 2 seconds. Oh, sorry, not that. My apologies. There you go. Gets me a sanity back. I mean, the quest isn't finished yet. The Archon quest is still going. We haven't finished yet, so it's probably a bit early to give thoughts on it. I'll hold off for that. But at the moment, the only thought that I want to give is that I feel sorry for Focalors. She had to sacrifice herself to make up for the sins of her predecessor. I'm not okay with that. She should not have had to pay with her life for something that wasn't even her responsibility. It wasn't her fault. She didn't cause it. It literally had nothing to do with her. Yet, because her predecessor passed without having paid for that sin, she instead had to take on that burden. I don't like that for her. It's sad.